The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
Welcome to the Weedsman Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron. We're back. It's the first podcast of 2024.
Yeah, happy
first
New Year.
Podcast
Yeah.
of any of them.
Yes.
Yeah, we first we got in with the first, like a post.
Oh, this is going to be our 10th year. We're going to celebrate 10 years.
This is
that was a quick decade.
I saw that Colorado was talking about their 10th year, and I was like, wow, if it's Colorado's 10th year, that's our 10th year.
Yeah, no shit.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
The first podcast was me talk about my trip I took to Colorado.
That's right. We've been off for a while. We were on a bit of a holiday sabbatical, I guess you could call it. Hopefully Santa was good to everyone. Was he good to you? Did you get anything fun?
I got a cocktail smoker.
A cocktail smoker.
So I can make some of them fancy smoke drinks. First thing I thought of was I
think that's something you get it down at Menjo's.
Right. Hey now. Some local humor. But
just, if you're not local, the name's what you think.
It's a gay bar. What is it in Ann Arbor? What was the bar in Ann Arbor? Fuck.
Manhole?
No.
They have a manhole over there? That's like in every shitty movie or something
Damn it, I forget what it was pretty popular. The podcast I was listening to was talking about it the other day.
Popular gay bar in Ann Arbor.
Oh,
I don't know what the popular one would be. Oh, the Nectarine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I would go for disco night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I knew that the Nectarine did disco nights, and they would do some techno nights too. I guess I never thought of it as a gay club, but early on, gay, techno, I mean, that Venn diagram was practically a circle.
Right. It's true.
I mean, the origins of techno. Not
really
so much,
large oval.
I don't know so much about, not to say that they weren't involved in making techno early on. They're a whole separate group of, anyway.
The industrial,
you know what I mean?
Techno complex.
Right. No, just gay people being they. But as far as having an outlet for techno, you had a bunch of dudes in Detroit making music in their bedrooms, and they were inspired by science fiction and German experimental music and shit like that, and Parliament. And the guys in Chicago, there wasn't an immediate what are we going to do with this music? It didn't matter. That was the punk aesthetic of it. It was make it to make it.
Well, then the guys in Chicago got out the disco records and
well, yeah, definitely.
I think that's when the gays were like, hey, what's going on over here?
Yeah. But, it wasn't, they were playing I guess probably early on in Detroit, they were definitely mixing some disco in here and there, but it was like they were playing experimental shit.
Oh, my early experiences with both electronic music and gay people were like house music. They were pro. Extremely pro house music.
Oh, absolutely.
Like my gay friends were looking like at 3 Floors of Fun. Lots of time spent on the house music floor.
Yes. Yeah, that's where Mike Huckabee. He was one of the residents there at 3 Floors of Fun. That was a great night. That was the first club that I ever went to. And I think it's because did they do like maybe a 16 and up in the shelter? Because I feel like I was there when I was still in high school. And I never had a fake ID.
No, I feel before 11, it was 18 and up, and after 11, they cleared out all the underage people, and then it was a club.
Yeah, I think they definitely did that, and they would do that for like...
Because I feel I definitely went there before I could drink, and I wasn't sneaking in.
Yeah. If you... Again, I don't want to make this too local.
Or maybe they just mixed it up, because I definitely remember there was, you either had the X or the wristband if you were in that building.
Yes. Yeah, the X meaning you were 18 to 20.
That means you can't buy booze.
Right. Yeah, they would slap.
Maybe it was just 18 and up. Maybe that's why we remember.
Yeah, but I'm feeling maybe not. No, you know what? I was...
Because now
I'm remembering what I was like at 16. I was like, there's no way I was going down there. It must have been like, yeah.
Because now I'm getting some uncovered memories. I'm remembering sometimes, ooh, hey, I got the wristband. I remember like with our friends.
Right.
Like the first time getting the wristband. Like, ooh, I finally got the no more X.
I would, I was thinking about people that would go straight to the bathroom, scrub the X off their hands. And
I lost my wristband. It's crazy.
No, they wouldn't do that. They'd have somebody else like slip it off their wrist.
Well, then how did that person drink?
They would say, I lost my, or my wristband fell off, or, it got, I took it off because it was snagging on my arm hair or something like that. And then you'd show your ID. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Like, stamp transfers, wristband transfers.
They got wise.
There's whole new hacks now.
Well, they got wise at the end, and I recall the glow-in-the-dark stamp if you were under 18.
Yeah, it was the wasn't glowing. It was it showed up in a black light.
Yeah,
is that the same thing? It's not that.
Or maybe
there's another word for that.
Or maybe that was it for drinking or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, 3 Floors of Fun. You had all kinds of shit going on in the basement in there. But
house,
it was
techno, and jungle, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. No. It was. The upstairs was house and a little bit of techno. The middle floor was hip hop.
That's right. Yeah.
And the bottom floor was all indie rock. And that was everybody went. This was at St. Andrews.
Yeah, me and my friends spent most of our time upstairs.
Yeah, like I started out going there for the indie rock night, and
if we didn't have any weed, we ran out of weed. We went to the hip hop floor.
Yeah,
hey, it happened, people. It happened.
We would go check out the hip hop floor, but honestly, and
then you would stroll through the shelf. Any bands here good? Nah, not really. Let's go back upstairs.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was still kind of segregated, but still everybody's in the same building and still mixing it up. I remember there were fights that would happen sometimes on the hip hop floor, not to stereotype anything, but
it's true.
There weren't
it was the floor with the most. The house people weren't fighting. Everyone was too on drugs,
and there wasn't
up and dancing,
and there wasn't any crossover. It wasn't like hip hop people fighting with house people, indie rock kids fighting with indie rock kids aren't going to fight with anybody. Were we kidding?
Everyone, yeah. The fights stayed on their own floors.
Yeah. I can't imagine that happening anywhere. Not just happening now in Detroit, because Detroit nightlife is popping these days. especially with techno music.
Yeah, I'm old.
I'm going to my buddy's in town, and he's doing an all-nighter vinyl session at Speaker Box. It's a Tuesday that we're recording this.
It just sounds exhausting.
It is going to be exhausting. I've got my Frappuccino here that I'm sipping on to keep me going.
Oh, you're going to go to that after this?
I'm going to go.
Oh, you're talking like it's tonight.
It's tonight, yeah.
Oh.
It's tonight. But there's shit going on every night in Detroit. As far as if you want to hear any kind of electronic music, it's out there. Not all of it great, but...
Well, no friend of ours has a
I just
spot
can't...
now.
Yeah, I don't know why... I can't imagine there being spots like that where like they just do everything. I don't know. What's your buddy's spot?
Well, no, you know, Z's got No Label Audio.
Oh, yeah,
you heard
yeah.
about that? Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
No, I've been to one of his things, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because he does them over in... It's not... Is it the Russell? Or what's the industrial complex loft?
Wasn't that the Russell? Or didn't they tear that down?
I can't remember. It's not the Russell. It's they're calling it. They got some hoity-toity name that they're calling it now because there's so many artists in it. It's like the Institute or something like that.
I don't fuck with the city anymore.
Yeah, I get down there. The city's fun. I didn't even drink though when I was going out to the club. Like I just wanted to go out and dance. That's it. Like that's all I wanted to do.
I just want to dance.
I did.
Like that kid in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, and I would purposely, push buttons. I was, would wear like half shirts or, put on, my friends, my female friends' shirts or something like that, or whatever. But yeah, I didn't drink until.
That's how Gen X used to do it. Hey, I'm a man wearing woman's clothing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was like Nirvana, Yeah. And where the dresses on stage, they're making out, and but there was the end of their Saturday Night Live clip, like Dave Grohl jumps on Chris Novoselic's back and then is like passionately making out with him, or at least trying to. Like Chris he's like kind of fighting back, but I think also laughing. 2024. 10 years of podcasting, 10 years of cannabis in Colorado. What do you think has changed? I was reading actually about...
It's still not Schedule 1. Come on, man.
Well, that's the one thing that hasn't changed, right? And apparently no plans for that either.
Someone must have a deeper pocket than Big Cannabis for now that's keeping it down.
Yeah, we could theorize, and there's even some facts that we could point to, whether it's tobacco,
they might rhyme
pharma,
with Schmeiser.
Yeah. That it's gotta be, it's gotta be big pharma in general, because
those are like the only pockets deep enough. Them are like oil, but what's oil?
No interest in it. Yeah.
I think tobacco is acquiesced. It's funny. The first, where it's the new year, all the commercials are running for like weight loss and all that crap. And I noticed the quit smoking commercials have now turned into quit vaping commercials. So like even big tobacco is acquiesced to like tobacco, and it's not even making us enough money anymore. We do this now, like
yeah.
So I don't even.
Yeah,
think,
I did. I saw it this morning.
Which, by the way, they got nothing in these commercials. There's like no medical. Like at least with cigarettes, they like you can get cancer.
I don't know.
This is proven.
Right.
With vaping, they're like, oh, it gives you anxiety. We think.
But they're not. It doesn't give me popcorn lung anymore.
Right.
That's not a thing. Yeah. On the way to work today, 2 billboards that I saw. One that was an anti-vaping in general. I think, more just pointed at nicotine, but it was like vaping is dangerous to your health. Period. No further information. Some kind of cartoon figure I'm supposed to appeal to in some way.
You don't know that yet.
Right. And again, our counter argument isn't, it's healthy.
I know how I feel every morning. Yeah. Oh, and get this.
But then, I'm sorry. Wait.
But I'll throw this in the mix real quick.
Yeah.
last 4 weeks, I'm starting out every morning running 1.5 miles on an elliptical.
Boom.
I am not winded at all. And I am I go through one of these.
Couldn't do that
breezes.
when you were a smoker.
Correct. I go, dude, yeah, fucking 2 minutes into it, I'd be like, well, it's also in worse shape the last time, but still,
right.
But I go through one of these breezes every 6 to 7 days.
Well, it's the thing. You couldn't, you've been getting into shape, and you couldn't get into the shape that you are in now if you were still smoking.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be like, fuck this.
Yeah, I'd be coughing up a lung every fucking morning.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, and I guess, well, you're 4 weeks in. Okay, when I started, wasn't getting winded. I know how I feel every morning. I don't hawk up a lung. I don't get a fucking respiratory infection at the drop of a hat anymore, like you fucking did when I smoked.
Hollywood has the best campaign against that, and it's that the only people that they're going to show vaping on television or movies are going to be not just the bad people, but the total douchebag bad people. You know, the guy who's vaping on screen is going to tip shitty. He's going to be, an asshole to strangers.
He's going to call some woman toots.
Yeah, he's going to be he's the type of character, if you wanted to, at this point, if you just wanted to set up a couple characters just so that somebody else can come in and kill them, but you didn't want anyone to feel bad for them, right? So usually they'd be having a conversation. So then I told my girlfriend, shut up, bitch, go make me a turkey pot pie. And then I backhanded her. And you're like, oh, this guy's an asshole. And then when guy comes in with, Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in with a machine gun and shoots the guy, you're like, meh, no great loss, right? They set you up for that. Now it's just vaping, right?
And
this guy's vaping and random act of violence causes him to die, and you're like, meh. Okay. That was pretty cool the way what bullet went straight through his head. It went straight through the end of his vape into his mouth and split his head in two.
Yeah.
And then you saw vape and blood spraying out front. That was pretty worth it. And
the vape and
it's not like he was going to contribute anything to society anyways, because he was a vapist.
Vapist.
I'm bringing that term back. I'm going to make that a term as just to satisfy my feeling of persecution for my habits. Everybody's got habits, but do you have to vilify them?
Right. And I'm willing to bet a lot of the people in the anti-vape crowd, and I feel like I may be making a point somebody else made, so I'll throw that out there. I bet say people don't do vape. It's bad for you. Nothing wrong with taking a huge, giant bong rip. I bet you they say no problem with that.
Yeah.
Oh, do all the bong rips you want, but vaping is bad.
Sure.
I think we've ascertained throughout the years, taking in a huge amount of smoke into your lungs is generally not good for you.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes from actual burning material.
Yeah. Yeah, and the vape, you don't even have to hold it in or anything.
Yeah.
It just absorbs immediately.
Yeah. There's no filter on a bong.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
On the way to work, I saw 2 billboards. One, anti-vaping campaign, and then the next one was for a local dispensary that had a sale on its concentrates.
But, there you go. That just tied it all together.
Yeah. And that's what I see way more of around town. There's dispensary billboards all over the place, everywhere you go. Especially up and down Emo.
Oh, I could have told you that was coming when I was going to Washington and Oregon all the time. We now look like Oregon. Oregon, it was like dispensary billboard, dispensary billboard, dispensary billboard, dispensary billboard.
Yeah, whereas the PSAs, the anti-vaping campaign billboards, those are rare. That's a 4-leaf clover out, and you don't see them all over the place. It's all in Detroit. It's lawyers, dispensaries, and then I just put in the category PSAs and God.
Yeah.
Or maybe the occasional political. That goes into the potpourri.
Lawyers, God, and weed.
Beliefs.
No, when I was in Missouri, it was cigarettes, porno,
God.
Wait,
were you talking about billboards still?
Yeah.
Oh. They could advertise cigarettes out there? I thought that was like nationwide. You couldn't do that.
No, I mean, there's like tobacco outlets, I should say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you couldn't have like the Marlboro Man standing
but
out.
Cigarette outlets.
Because remember, there used to be there was one, I think it was over by where the tire is, the big Michelin tire on 94. Mm-hmm. This is a very local podcast this week, isn't it? They used to have forever, it was a vertical billboard that was like cut out at the top. And it was just the fucking Marlboro Man on horseback. He was just like, yeah, I'm fucking cool and I'm smoking.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's dead.
But yeah, in Missouri, it's cigarette
so
outlets,
is advertising it.
Porno, fireworks, and Jesus. Those 4 billboards, the entire state.
That's America. Yeah, the article that I was reading about that brought to my attention that this is Colorado's 10th year was about, it's called Welcome to Colorado's First Cannabis Ghost Town. Yeah, I don't know. Ghost Town seems, I mean, it's not like there's a whole town, but they're looking at the shrinkage of the cannabis market in recent times in Colorado. So, well, I mean, what they're saying is there's large farms and operations that were just left abandoned. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it happens. Dude, first of all, go outside of a city area in Detroit, go outside, in Michigan, go outside of Detroit, Lansing, Grand Rapids, anywhere outside of that, Flint, abandoned farm.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Abandoned farm. Everywhere you look. People are living on it, but I mean, not all abandoned, but like large tracts of not being farmed land, just laying. And
some of these guys, I mean, I don't know now, but some of them are being paid to not farm by the government.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm sure that happens in Michigan. I think you have to have a viable farm, and it's not so much just like, I'm going to buy a farm that doesn't work and they're going to pay me not to fix it. Like, you have to have viable farmland that you're using, and you have to choose to not use a portion of it and let it sit. Or it's not that it's not even that you can't grow it. Like, they encourage you to still grow on it, and I think you want to still grow because that keeps the cycle of the land going, right?
Yes.
So, I think you can probably just, grow a shit ton of corn and have that subsidized by the government. They pay you not to do anything with it, and you probably feed it to your pigs, or just sell it anyways and say, fuck the government.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Try to tax you on the income you make from it.
Yeah, but the real problem is welfare queens. These people that are sitting on their couches, they should be out in the fields taking the government's money, not doing it from their couches. They should at least act like they're working for their money. How dare they? But yeah, a couple examples of failed operations. I don't know that this is like, the death knell of the cannabis industry. And I think it's, 10 years in, you would think that it would reach a point where it's got to hit a plateau. It's been continued growth year over year prior to that.
No.
It says,
my argument would be booze.
December 22nd to the same month last year, the number of recreational marijuana growers registered in Colorado went from 789 to 621, a decline of over 21%. That mirrors a 30% drop-off in the state's cannabis workforce and steep decreases in dispensary sales. So that was specifically the number of registered recreational growers, right? Did they stop growing?
Maybe they went out of business? Maybe they got bought up? Maybe they sold their licenses?
Yeah, I mean, consolidation, right? That's a really good point, because if you don't account for that and you don't look at the total percent, so a decline of 21% makes it sound like that's a decline in 21% in production, but that's not what that number is. 21% is the decline in the number of licenses, and with the number of businesses that have, probably people that were going to Colorado thinking, yeah, we're going to be in the competition, and it doesn't work out for everyone. And again, yeah, they get bought up, they get consolidated. That has nothing to do with the number that's produced, right? Even if those people just go away completely, they go out of state, they never touch cannabis again, that leaves the amount of cannabis that there's demand for
People
to be produced by the remaining licenses, and those businesses expand. So 21% doesn't really tell you anything about production or demand.
And that's 1 in 5.
It might tell you something about the health or the current state of the business if that's what you're tracking. How's cannabis doing overall? But I think that's kind of a pointless number to look at. Now, 20% or 30% drop off in state cannabis workforce, and steep decreases in dispensary sales. No numbers on, that's the real numbers. Like, are sales going down?
Yeah, what's the revenue?
Right. That's the numbers that they don't really cover in here. So,
because if revenue's up, who cares to any of this?
Right. If revenue's up, then this is a business becoming healthier and more stable, right? Shedding some fat.
It's an industry evolving.
Yeah. It's going through, changing regulations and.
Well, 30% less I got a buddy who works for a grow op. They got a lot of things that are coming in that are automating a lot of the processes that were done by humans.
Yep. Yeah, everybody was starting off with we got to hire a bunch of people to pack joints. And then now you can get on YouTube and watch people, they pack fucking 300 joints in seconds.
Oh,
they got them in these, and they're doing it by hand still, but there's just they got a thing, they shake a bunch of things into it, they stab a bunch of needles into it that packs it, they shake it again, twist it off. Boom. 30 seconds, you got 300 joints.
Yeah, he was talking about a machine. He's like, yeah, I got a machine that can do what 4 people do in a day.
Yeah, so that's part of the business evolving because early on these things might have existed, but they were niche products or, unless you have to get a lot of people buying into something like that for it to make it viable. You have to have a lot of legal dispensaries out there. And we've hit that part where, this is, even without it being Schedule 1, it's been proven that, it's not going anywhere in Colorado. It's not going anywhere in any state where we've gone forward. There's no indication of us taking a step back.
It's only in more states 10 years later.
Right.
We figured out, it's over a third of the country?
Yeah. Yeah, and as far as demand for cannabis in general, in Colorado, even if there is a decline in sales, those people are probably just buying it on the black market because that still exists.
Can't we live in a world where it's just a regular market?
Let's see, in this article, they talked to Sean Azaridi.
Sean A.
Let's see. Oh, no, this is a pit. Oh, I see. It's not showing the picture. This was a picture of the first, we actually seen this guy. Sean Azaridi was the guy who first purchased cannabis in Colorado.
Oh, he was the first guy in line at the first shop. He slept in his hemp sleeping bag for 2 weeks.
The dispensary at which Azaridi made the highly publicized purchase, 3D Cannabis, that's what it was called at the time, has since been sold and rebranded twice. You know who its current owners are?
Jars.
Yes.
Really?
Current owner is Jars Cannabis, a multi-state dispensary chain based in Michigan.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And Jars purchased the dispensary from the
homegrown
previous
corporate
owner,
greed.
Euroflora. The Michigan operation also gained control over Denver's annual 420 festival in Civic Center Park. Wow. Shit. Jars is, because they've been blowing up all over the place.
Dude,
here.
The one here is, I was in there at 2:00 on like a Saturday.
Yeah.
I was like, is there some kind of sale? He's like, no, it's just always like this. Dude, it was fucking, there was like at least almost a dozen people sitting and waiting. I was in line to like show ID. Like it was fucking.
Wow. I go to the one I go on 8 Mile is, it's never that. I've never waited. I mean, I've waited out in the lot, but I've never like had to wait to get in.
It is the only one like around here.
Yeah.
Like because it's in Mount Clemens, it's right on the border. Clinton Township don't want it. And Mount Clemens is like, come on in, but it's like right on. But where the location is, it is just. I mean, they just got to be.
Well, the other thing,
minting money.
I think they're trying to Amazon this industry because I've been using Stizzy pods for a while now. Mm-hmm. I've been a loyal customer, and they actually opened up Stizzy's based out of California, and they started opening up shops. They opened up one here in Ferndale, and I've been to it a few times. They had some really nice deals, and it was a really nice store. Their product, and there wasn't just Stizzy stuff that they carried. They specialized in that, but they carried all kinds of different, carried what you'd get at any other dispensary. And jars started, getting more competitive. They started popping up everywhere and also having better sales. And then the pods, I used to get them for $30, just about anywhere you go. That was the average price, $30 for these guys. But they always had you could buy 6 of them for $100. So that's what I would do, is just wait for that sale and go and stock up. Now it's just flat price, $20 on it. Still, everywhere else you go on these pods are $30. And the Stizzy store closed. Stizzy's gone.
Bye-bye.
Jars, somebody had to do it because part of the reason why everybody wants to get into the cannabis business is because it's one of the rare businesses that is high profit margin. It's really high profit margin. It's like fucking selling soda at McDonald's type of profit margin. All of your cost is in processing, labor, security, your building. And these places, they have to go all out with it, and they want to go all out with the look of it. They don't want to look shady, but there's too many fucking people working at most of these. Probably not at the one that you're going to, but most times I go, I'm like, does it really take this many people to do cannabis? You guys fucking sell how many fucking drugs at the CVS, and I go in and there's one person working the front counter and one person behind the pharmacy counter, and that's the fuck it. And there's no fucking security guards. But whatever.
No, I'm saying the jars. It is all and I always do online ordering. Every time I look at someone,
order and go swing through.
Every time I look at someone sitting in the lobby, I'm like, are you dumb? I don't think I've ever spent more than 5 minutes in that building. And if I have, most of it's been in line.
Oh my God, I'm just now putting it together. Because they're probably all set up this. I've been to at least 2 different ones,
Weed
right?
Maps, free plug. That's what I use.
They have the front counter where they check your ID and then put you in a queue, right?
They always ask me, "Are you here? Are you shopping or picking up?"
They always ask me if I'm picking up, and I never realized. I just now put it together that if I was just picking up, they would give it to me at the counter. They could do the thing right there. I wouldn't have to.
No, they just send for at least mine. They just send you right through.
Yeah.
They go, "Oh, yep, your order's ready. Go on back." And then everyone who's still waiting in line or has to have a seat, I'm like, suckers.
Oh, so they don't do it at the front?
No, they do when they're checking your ID. They said, "Are you shopping or picking
No,
up?"
but they still send you back to get your order.
Correct. Yeah. I think there's laws with that.
I mean, if we had online payment processing, then they could probably.
But I think the way the law is, all the product has to be exchanged behind,
right?
In the showroom.
Another 10 years, I'll just drive by slowly while I roll down my window, and I'm like, Redfield, and chuck it into my. I'll just chuck it to the window.
I wish they had curbside. They have signs for it, it's allegedly coming.
Pandemic, we had in most places they just did curbside or drive through, but that was a fucking pain.
I did this curbside.
You did your Fitbit.
They told me it was ready. It was
listeners, Chris is pointing at his dick right now.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
He got a penis enlargement from us for Christmas. Santa was very good.
I ordered it and they got a thing. Hey, it's ready. And the Target app was like, "Let us know when you're on your way. Hey, I'm on my way. What kind of truck you driving?" Bloop bloop bloop. There was a dude sitting there. Unlike most curbside, like Walmart. Unlike Walmart, you got to let them know you're there, and then they come out. There was a dude waiting for me. I don't know if they were GPSing me or what.
Was he wearing a trench coat? and then he opened up one side of it, and he had a bunch of
He's
Fitbits.
like, hey, got your Fitbits here.
What do you? I got Apple Watch, I got Samsung Watch, I got Google Watch, I got Fitbit watches. I got.
Don't deal with these people. No, it's a Target employee in his yellow reflective.
I got some Tomo watches
hoodie
from China.
I had to show him my little 4-digit code, and he's like, "All right, you're the guy. There you go." I didn't even get out of the car. I went in my.
You had to scan the barcode on the back of your neck.
I went in my pajamas.
Oh.
Well, see, now I'm in the fitness matrix, right? Now the government's going to know all my vital signs. Next step, DNA sample.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we were talking about the watches earlier. I've got a real basic Apple Watch, and there's everything that, all the upgrades on the new ones and even the Ultra, it's just more shit that, like, this sounds like you want me to do this, right? I don't need any of this information. I don't feel like I'd be a happier, healthier person if I could constantly monitor my body in that fashion. This sounds more like you want this information for something. You're developing a bank of information that you're going to sell to somebody else.
I am an Apple guy. I got the iPhone. I got a MacBook. I got all of it. I'm out on the AirPods once I learned that the battery will always shit out on you.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But like, I have no interest in having my cell phone on my wrist. None. Like, I got tons of friends with Apple Watches. Like, no, it's not for me.
I almost went for the one that gets you can just take it out separately and it gets a LTE signal, has the antenna in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I didn't. Well, there is something to be said. Like, if you just had your watch and you didn't have your phone on you, you could still have people get in touch with you if there's an emergency, but you're not going to be looking at Instagram.
Yeah.
Or fucking playing solitaire. Or doing any other things that I'm wasting my time with.
And what if you beat off with the same wrist you wear the watch on? How are you going to do porn?
Oh, right. Yeah, trying to...
Right?
Is there an actual...
And you got to put your watch on different wrists, and then that feels weird. Or you got to give yourself
that's not
the
really
stranger.
Practical. Probably, like, they'll just make a version of it that'll have, like, a hologram projector. You know, like in Star Wars. Actually, people will probably literally beat off to Princess Leia saying, "You're my only hope."
Although this time, she's nude.
Yeah. Help me, you're my only hope of achieving an orgasm. Actually, probably more people would be into R2 in that scenario.
Yikes.
Like, yeah, let's get that restraining bolt off of you.
No one can hear you scream when you don't have a mouth.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
Apple, they unveiled the release date. I think they already unveiled a while ago the price for their VR, or not VR, but AR, augmented reality headset. Have you seen this? It just looks like a really large pair of futuristic ski goggles.
Those are another thing I have no interest in general, the whole VR headsets.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I thought maybe is maybe I could play a round of golf inside in the winter. But like...
You could. Yeah.
But no, I don't want to do... But I'm not a gamer, so I guess that's why that stuff doesn't interest me.
Yeah, that's what... I'm not clear on what they're marketing it as. Like, I get what you could... the potential that you could do with it, but at $3,500, they're not, you can't really market this at your average gamer.
Right.
You know, like porn.
Right.
Is it secretly there's going to be a lot of porn apps for it? But then, you know, I don't know.
I know. I've heard porn on a VR headset is quite the experience.
Well, sure. You got to get the haptic underwear.
That sounds expensive. Yeah. And unnecessary.
Right. I've gotten pretty good at simulating vagina.
Yeah. Like, I've been beating off for quite some time. I don't need it to feel like the vagina I'm looking at.
Yeah. I don't know, but if I could interact with my home studio in that way, like I could have like a virtual studio that I could just reach out and not have to have special gloves or a special controller or something like that, but just literally grab a virtual fader and a knob and stuff like that, or manipulate a virtual instrument, you know?
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
Be able to play a harp, like, or even just like play air guitar.
Right.
You know?
Play guitar you could never afford.
I don't know. But then it's gotta have...
I'm playing a Martin acoustic.
Like, I could see how it would be able to track what it can see. You know, you put your hands up in the field of view and it could probably track that. But you'd have to have a way to, like, track it in the room. Couldn't just be what you're looking at. Although I am one of those musicians who can't stop looking at his hands. No matter how much I learn a part. Same way when I type. Doesn't matter how much I know, I have to look at my hands or I can't type fast.
No, I'm with you there. And then every now and you catch yourself, hey, I'm doing it! When you're typing and you're looking up and then you start fucking up.
Yep. Mickey Mouse hit the public domain or is hitting...
Yep, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, and who else? There's 3 things this year that...
Yeah, wasn't there something else?
Yeah. Because last year it was what? It was Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
It's Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. It's Bugs Bunny. There's a third... Hold on.
Is it a specific version of Bugs Bunny?
That I don't know.
Because there was a slightly different model early on. Although I guess overall the personality never really changed. Somebody posted a compilation of cartoon screams talking about nostalgia of the old days when cartoons had off the hook screams in them. And really, I mean, if they did any modicum of homework, they should have just said, here's a compilation of Mel Blanc's greatest screams, because he was the best screamer.
Yeah. But some of his Yosemite Sam ones were...
Yosemite Sam was, I'm thinking of, one of my favorites is I can't remember what he yells at him, but the little gangster and the big gangster, like the little one yells at him, but that like very edge of your voice, like totally just screaming out of your mind.
See, I do not see Bugs Bunny on this list. I see one.
I didn't hear about
Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about Bugs Bunny. That was news to me.
So there's already...
What did you look at, like Public Domain 2024?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to look this up too. We can look at this together, and then we can cast our big crossover event. We'll write a script that crosses over like every public domain, like Winnie the Pooh versus Mickey Mouse versus Deputy Dog. I don't know. Deputy Dog in the public domain yet?
No, we probably got another 30, 40 years on that one.
Yeah, wow, there's a whole Wikipedia page. You can just look at 2024 in public domain, and it's broken down countries with life plus 70 years, meaning life of the artist or creator, plus 70 years, plus 60 years, plus 50, plus 80. There's specific laws for Australia and Canada. So in the U.S., Mickey Mouse is public domain. Let's see. What countries have life plus 80 years? That's probably the biggest stretch. Spain has a copyright term of life plus 80 years for creators that died before 1987.
Oh, Mac the Knife went into public domain this year.
Wait. The song Mac the Knife?
Yep.
How the fuck? That song isn't that old, is it?
Oh, yeah. Bobby Darin he didn't write it. He was just doing it.
Right. Does it date back to the 20s?
Musical composition. Mac the Knife by Kurt Weill and lyrics by Bertolt Brecht.
Bertolt Brecht, yeah. What's the copyright date on it, does it say?
1928 from Three Penny Opera.
Yeah, here's why 1928. Under the Copyright Term Extension Act, books published in 1928, films released in 1928, and other works published in 1928 entered the public domain in 2024. Unpublished works whose authors died in 1953 entered the public domain. Okay. More poo coming on the public domain too. The House at Pooh Corner will officially become public domain, so schools won't have to pay a license fee to put that on as a play, which I was in a production of. And Tigger hits the public domain.
No.
And the thing about Tiggers is there's only one.
They like to bounce.
And they don't like thistles. All right. Sorry. Yeah, there's nothing else really interesting.
Lady Chatterley's lover is now public domain.
There you go. There's our crossover. Tigger and Mickey and Minnie. Is Minnie Mouse public domain? We have to.
Yes, her depiction in Steamboat Willie did also enter.
There you go. Tigger, Minnie, and Mickey in young Mickey Chatterley's lover.
Mickey Chatterley?
Young Mickey Chatterley's Tigger.
Whoa. Wow. Now
sounds okay.
You know how we started the show talking about gay stuff? That is just, whoa. That is a new realm.
Lady Minnie's Tigger. No, okay. We'll just move on.
Mickey Chatterley.
Dipper Mouth Blues by Louis Armstrong. What do you think that's about?
Oh boy.
The Dipper Mouth Blues. Yes, We Have No Bananas by Billy Jones.
Yes, the sound recording.
Nice. So not the song? You don't have performance? Like that's not...
It says the sound recording is what's going into public domain. Dipper Mouth Blues, Downhearted Blues, Down South Blues, the Lawdy Lawdy Blues, the Moonshine Blues, the Southern Blues.
Wow.
I'm noticing a theme.
All the blues hit the public domain.
Yeah. Tin Roof Blues, the Wolverine Blues.
Well, that's the thing. They all came out in the same year because that was the days of music where it was blatant, like people were just blatantly ripping off each other. You know, if you got, when Rock Around the Clock was a hit, there was probably many other songs that were released within months that everybody's forgotten that were just using different ways of rock and clock together, or rhyming stuff.
A lot of the Beatles' first couple albums were songs that weren't even 5 years old, that weren't theirs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was also much more common to like cover contemporarily.
Yeah.
And even have like a single come out the same. You might have a single of the same song, same writers and everything. Nobody's like stealing material, but 3 different singles could come out in the same year.
Oh boy, I'm going to attempt to try to be contemporary here for a second. It'd be like Olivia Rodrigo, like covering a Taylor Swift song.
Right.
I think I did it.
But there was less of like this idolatry of artistry back then. Like these were entertainers and you understood it as a business, right? Just like when you would go to see a play or a musical, you could look at your playbill and the lyrics and the dialogue were written by somebody and the music was written by somebody else and the score was, maybe somebody else helped out with that. There's a division of labor. And now there's still that same division of labor. We just don't want to.
Music was a trade.
We don't want to talk about it as much. Like when they must shop these songs around like so secretly. Only select few people, because like you don't want everyone to know. Like, oh, Katy Perry could have done this song, but it ended up going to Taylor Swift. That's weird. I thought Taylor Swift wrote all of her stuff too.
Yeah.
But she does, actually. I mean, out of probably any of them, she's probably the one that's writing the most of her own material of any of the current, like, popular artists.
I'll agree to that.
Yeah. I mean, it also shows in the results, but...
I know she actually knows how to play that guitar she holds.
Yeah. Yep. No doubt on Taylor Swift's talent.
Just, not a fan of the product.
Yep. It's not for me either.
Yeah. Oh, it's
right?
definitely not. Wrong gender.
Yeah.
20 to 30 years too old. Well, now her old school fans are like in their 30s.
Yeah, by this point, like, people started listening to Taylor in their teens and now have kids. Like, those people are still diehard Taylor fans. And I bet when all said and done, she's going to have a longer lasting and more fruitful career than Madonna. Because there was something that Madonna just couldn't evolve past. Right? Like, she never wanted to be over 40.
Well, also,
right?
Well, that.
No, I mean, nobody
well, also,
does, and I'm not saying that.
I
like
think she's a vocalist. She's not a musician. I think that's another thing.
Yeah, that's true. And even as a vocalist, she's not. Like, she's a performer.
Whenever you've seen Madonna play an instrument, it's been for like a song, and she practiced it for a while.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah,
like I've never seen her play a piano.
Yeah, never seen her do a bar chord for that.
Yeah,
matter.
like
they probably open tune it for her.
Like if the power goes out, if the power goes out at a Madonna show, not sure that show's going on. If the power goes out at like a Lady Gaga or a Taylor Swift show, that show's still going on.
Right. Madonna shows up at a party, oh, you must sing for us. Please sit down at the piano.
Yeah. Lady Gaga'd be like, all right, and she'd do that cracker fingers move. Before she started.
Oh, yeah, Lady Gaga would tear it up.
Although,
and is a way better vocalist. Way better vocalist.
Yes, agreed. But speaking of, is it that bad in the music industry for money? Lady Gaga is doing a commercial for like a migraine drug. Like she's got a drug commercial.
Yeah.
It's for a migraine drug.
I don't know. Maybe I'm naive.
I'm like, it's either.
I would assume that she actually does suffer from migraines.
But for me, I'm like, is it that bad in the music industry, or has she fallen that far? I don't think she's fallen that far.
I don't know.
She's like 2 years away from. She's 2 years out from like winning an Oscar, isn't she?
Yeah, I don't think she's I don't think it's that at all. I think it's you just make like I said, maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. I would imagine. Migraine is kind of random, so she probably does suffer. If somebody offers to write you a check that's the same money that you could make going out on the road for X amount of weeks, and all you have to do is like, a weekend, go do some
I guess what I'm
shots,
getting,
some voiceover.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I guess what I'm getting at is like a music star of her magnitude, like it's that bad in the music industry. She's got to do I don't know that I'm not saying that drug commercial to put something on the top line.
Well, I guess if music industry, if we're just talking about the industry of labels and making records and selling music, yeah, it definitely is that bad. I don't see. I thought you were saying just specifically, is it that bad for Lady Gaga? I don't think it's that bad, and I don't think
I meant for the music industry, not her.
Right. Right. Whereas like 20 years ago, anybody in Lady Gaga's position, they would be throwing so much fucking money at her that she would never think about doing anything else because it's just why. Right.
Well, I mean, have we ever seen Madonna do a commercial?
Right. No, we haven't. But Michael Jackson did, though.
Oh, yeah.
But did he like touring? I think he did commercials because he didn't like touring.
Well, yeah, I think by that point in his career...
He did tour, but not a lot.
Well, yeah, he had...
His shows... And I don't even know that he toured. Like, he would go places and play.
Well, you're pushing 30 and you've been on the road since you were 5. Maybe, yeah. Right. Maybe by then you're like... But, I mean, when he still did it, he did it up. He still did world tours.
Oh, he did? Yeah, you're right.
Remember, he died rehearsing for... Remember, it was... This is it.
Yeah.
He said at that press conference... No, really. This is it. Have you ever seen that press conference?
No.
He's loaded, for starters.
Well.
Here, let me see if I find the shortest.
While you're looking that up, I'm just going to mention something real quick. I forget what it's called. Leave the World Behind on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Julia Roberts, you know about this?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
No.
It's Sam Esmail, who was the creator of Mr. Robot. This is his, I think it's his first, feature that he's, written and directed. An interesting movie, but not in any really good way.
I've heard mixed reviews.
It's horrible, really. It's really horrible. Like, it's horrible and unsatisfying. I'm not against, non-concrete endings. What's the word I'm looking here? Like, just kind of, you don't know what's going to happen. Not everything's wrapped up in a nice little bow. I like movies when they do that right, but this was just like a whole lot of no answers to random things that are happening, all concluding in absolutely nothing.
Do you hate that? You feel like you just wasted your time? Like, I'm not getting that 2 hours back.
Yeah, I was, in the second half of this 2-hour movie, I'm going, well, this is going to pay out. Like, Mr. Robot paid off great. And, like, he knows how to ratchet up tension. Mr. Robot was really good at that, too. And this movie is really good at that. But there was a payoff to that tension in the TV show. Episode to episode, even, there was a payoff. There's something that happened at the end of it, a bit of a resolve, then ratchet up a little bit more to get you to come back next week. He was really good at those cliffhanger endings. Maybe it's just working in a different type of structure where you can't have a cliffhanger like that, but none of this leaves you satisfied in any way. You feel the tension. There is no resolve. It's like listening to a classical music piece that never resolves, like how maddening that would be. You're
like, finish.
Yeah, like just never.
The fucking story.
I love you so much.
It's a big crowd.
No, that's the other thing. He says, "This is it," and I love you. That's all he says.
Thank you all. This is it. This is it.
He looks like he's got a fucking wig on.
And he's just repeating what somebody was yelling at him.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say that these...
That's right. He gets a sentence out here.
These will be my final show performances in London. This will be it. This is it. And when I say this is it, it really means this is it. Because
how fucking hammered he sounds.
Dude.
This is 2009, by the way. I feel this crowd was paid. Were people still going this crazy over this man in 2009?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I'll be performing the songs my fans want to hear.
I mean, do you remember, like, him getting out of court?
I mean, this is really
getting out of court, and people are.
This is the final curtain call. Okay?
Yeah, remember when he danced on the car?
Yeah.
I'll see you in July.
And show me somebody who says, in July, and I'll go down on you.
And...
Oh, guess what he's going to say?
This is it.
I love you.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. You have to know that. I love you so much.
This is like talking to somebody on
From the bottom of
heroin.
my heart.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
This is it. And see you in July.
Actually...
With a little of your drunk aunt mixed in.
I got some bad news for you about you in July that year, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was it says March of 2009. Didn't he die? He died in didn't he die in like June or July? I think he died right before that tour was supposed to start.
Yeah.
He was murdered, technically.
All right. Well, I guess that's as good as any note to go out on.
So
our first show of the new year.
So you're saying this is it?
Yes. That's what I'm saying, listeners. This is it.
This is it.
I love you.
This is our last show before the next one.
Yes, this is our last show this week.
Yeah. This is it.
This is going to be our last of the shows that we are doing right now. This is it.
At the Weisman420 on social media, ChristopherMedia.net.
Put some echo on my voice for that part.
Yeah, because you're in the hyperbaric chamber.
I love you.
Yeah. That's what I learned. That's what the echo's supposed to be. It's because he's in a hyperbaric chamber.
Yes. Yeah, when Drew and Mike would do their
Michael Jackson impression.
Yeah.
Put an echo on it. I always thought they were just trying to make fun because he thought he was magical and this.
Right.
No, I learned it. No, it's supposed to be he's in this fucking hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah.
But anyway, ChristopherMedia.net has a PayPal button if you want to help us out. What's up, Evan? Evan donates. He drops us messages.
Nice. Yes.
Facebook Messenger.
I see messages
that I don't read.
I read them.
Oh, gotcha. But if you want to help us
see
out,
them. I appreciate the support.
Yeah. And if you can rate or review us, please and thank you. We'd appreciate it. It helps other people find the show. Make that your New Year's resolution. If you like the show, help another person find it in 2024. And this is it.
This is it.
Stay high.
What is it?
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.